we investigate the truth about Meghan's bullying. How did the Diva Duchess hurt the palace staff? What does the palace fear about revealing Meghan as being Duchess difficult? Palace staff say that they had been traumatized by Meghan's behavior. As a report into this episode is buried, we shall examine the history of this saga. Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Sussex Daily news channel. 5 a.m. in the morning is a very unusual time for a member of the royal family to be issuing instructions to their staff. It suggests a selfish and overly controlling person. This behavior is certainly antisocial. In the summer of 2018, junior employees at Kensington Palace were becoming increasingly annoyed with these early emails and texts that they received from the newly married Meghan Markle. In the beginning, palace officials came out in defense of Meghan. Part of Meghan's working day meant that she would need to connect with contacts in the United States. With the time difference, this could explain why she needed to be at her desk at such an early hour. The staff also spoke about cultural differences in Meghan's management style. The staff had normally dealt with British monarchy, and they were not used to an American who they say was more direct. In contrast, friends of the former actress spoke to People magazine, where they said that Meghan was wonderful and prided herself on being a fantastic boss. It has been said that on one occasion, Meghan paid for an ice cream stand to come and provide free treats for her staff. Unfortunately, these acts of kindness became increasingly rare. But by October, the memory of the beautiful fairy tale wedding of Meghan and her Prince Charming had faded. Palace insiders began to openly describe Meghan as being a difficult duchess. It seems that this had nothing to do with her direct American way of talking. It was rather because of her cutting, confrontational manner. It became known that secretaries of Meghan's were often reduced to tears. Staff were being bullied and treated unfairly. People were now talking about the Duchess's behavior in a negative light. A few months ago, Buckingham Palace had promised that it would publish the report into the historic allegations of bullying once they were handed over to them by the officials. But this simply has not happened. The palace should have disclosed what steps were being taken to protect the victims of these allegations. However, these findings have been concealed. The report seems to have been buried, and the changes to the palace protocols have simply not been explained. According to the Mail newspaper, it seems that the promise of transparency has been sacrificed in order to appease the couple and avoid pouring oil on troubled waters. It is not an easy job working for the royals. The pay is poor and the hours are long, and many a domestic relationship has come under pressure. It simply does not help if your boss is also a demanding bully. According to royal experts, Prince Charles has a strict set of rules for his royal butlers to follow, and he makes sure that everything is made to perfection for his daily cup of tea, for example. Unlike Meghan, he treats his staff with respect and kindness. It was worrying when rumours began circulating that youthful aides were being humiliated within the Sussex household. Reports of Meghan's bullying were increasing. Aides were being driven out, and Meghan was being accused of undermining the confidence of her employees. In the autumn of 2018, developments took an astonishing turn. Jason Knauf, who had been Meghan and Harry's communications secretary at the time, submitted a formal complaint revealing claims of bullying. The complaint was an attempt for him to protect his staff. He had also expressed how concerned he was about Samantha Cohen. She had been the couple's private secretary. She was a veteran of the Queen's office and a highly regarded member of staff. But she too was beginning to feel stressed. For 2.5 years, details of the bullying remained a secret. Allegations only became public after the couple decided to quit their royal life and move to California. These revelations of Meghan's bullying had been published in the Times newspaper a few days before the couple had had their famous interview with Oprah Winfrey. Representatives for Meghan had said in response, and I quote, "It was being used by Buckingham Palace to peddle a wholly false narrative based on misleading and harmful misinformation." A former employee of Meghan's had told the newspaper that her staff had been personally humiliated by the Duchess. Staff were often reduced to tears. An aide has revealed that after a nasty confrontation with the Duchess, she simply could not stop herself from shaking. Meghan's aide had been treated with emotional cruelty and manipulation, which was definitely bullying. According to outside sources, very little had been done by senior courtiers to address the complaints. Meghan had seemed to target young women, and they had been bullied by her to the point of tears. But the institution just continued to protect Meghan constantly. The men in grey suits who Meghan despises have a lot to answer for. They did absolutely nothing to protect the staff. Meghan's lawyer, Jenny Afia, had said that the allegations were simply not true. She had never experienced such behavior from Meghan. Signs that things might be amiss first became evident when the Daily Mail revealed in 2018 that Meghan's personal assistant had left. A few days later, the assistant's name was revealed. Her name was Melissa Toapti. She had worked previously for former Take That singer Robbie Williams, as well as the businesswoman Amanda Staveley. Miss Toapti had in fact not been the first member of staff to leave. Another young woman who had been employed as Meghan's PA before the couple married suddenly just quit. These former assistants had signed non-disclosure agreements, and this is standard practice for royal staff. Even so, it has been suggested that Meghan did not try to prevent these members of staff from speaking. The easygoing and relaxed atmosphere that many staff had found while working for the bachelor prince was now rapidly changing. A part-time member of staff who worked in Harry's household for a short time has said that before Meghan arrived on the scene, Harry would make morning coffee for his small staff. But after Harry married Meghan, this little arrangement came to an end, and a butler had to take over the coffee-making duties. Exact details of what was happening to the couple's staff was not widely known. It was baffling because on the surface everything appeared to be hunky-dory. Everything seemed to be going well. The couple had received positive headlines for their first major overseas tour to Australia. But behind the scenes, senior officials were becoming increasingly concerned. Knauf's intervention was now changing everything. He had sent his email to Simon Case, who was Prince William's private secretary at the time. He is now cabinet secretary at 10 Downing Street. After Simon received the email, he discussed the matter with Samantha Carruthers. She had been head of human resources for the Prince of Wales at Clarence House. Simon Case has revealed that Carruthers had agreed with him on all counts and that the situation was indeed extremely serious. He had been very concerned that nothing would be done. The email to Case had concluded with the damning line, and I quote, "I questioned if the household policy on bullying and harassment applied to principals. This seemed to be the only logical explanation." It's quite funny because at the time, Meghan had complained about the courtiers. She had said that they were out to destroy her. But what we had were the men in grey suits appearing to protect Meghan from the allegations. It seems significant that the complaint was made by Jason Knauf. He had been born in America and had a liberal outlook on life. He had been educated at the London School of Economics, as well as a university in New Zealand. He knew better than anyone else how difficult it would be for American Meghan Markle to adjust to royal life. By June 2022, the sound of disdain was becoming increasingly loud and uncomfortable. It had been 15 months since the matter had first become public, and a little short of 4 years since the bullying claims had first been raised privately. It is clear that the allegations are being kept secret. It seems that keeping peace with the Sussexes at any price is far more preferable than revealing what lessons might have been learned from the whole shabby story. An infuriated palace aide of long standing has said, and I quote, "Once again, the public will think it is a case of how we can make this go away rather than actually addressing it. Is this approach enough to stop the rising chorus of criticism? Only time will tell." And you, what do you think about this news? Please tell me what your opinion is in the comment section below and we can talk about Meghan Markle's behavior. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like it and share it with your relatives. Please do not forget to subscribe to the Sussex Daily News YouTube channel to get more interesting videos from our team in the future. Now thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.